Okay, so this year we've looked at around 260 plus deals and we've moved forward on four. And it's not because we're not constantly making offers, it's actually the opposite. We're underwriting and making offers constantly. It's just that we stay really strict with our underwriting and guidelines. And so if it doesn't make sense on paper, then we just move on. And honestly, the past 2 or 3 years haven't made a lot of sense for a lot of operators out there, not just us. Most multifamily operators have been quiet during that time because pricing was high, debt was volatile, and sellers just didn't want to adjust. But now we're starting to see some things shift, at least in some markets. And so, certain metros, we're finally seeing some correcting. We're seeing some deals come across the table where pricing actually lines up with fundamentals again. But in others, especially the hotter growth markets like the Sunbelt regions, sellers are still holding out a little bit. They're still anchored to the valuations that they were maybe seeing in 2020 or 2021. So it's been this mix of realistic expectations in some places and complete denial in others. And a big part of it is timing. A lot of homeowners have loans coming due that were locked in during the low rate period, and those debt maturities are forcing some to sell. And that's where I think better opportunities are starting to show up. And even then, a lot of offering memorandums still look better on paper than in reality. Expenses are quite optimistic, capex is understated, rent growth is stretched in some of these models, and we have to rebuild the model from scratch to make sure that it makes sense for us. But that's why we've had to analyze hundreds of deals just to land a few that truly work. And our capital feels like it's coming back slowly, though. Not ours, but many of the other funds. And there's more interest, more calls, and more funds starting to deploy their money again, carefully and not frenzied like before, because it's still a numbers game and a market by market game as well. But for the first time in a while, it feels like the math is starting to make sense again, at least in the right places, and that these fund and capital allocators are actually deploying them slowly but surely right now.